So welcome to Yin and Yang. The first thing I'm going to do is go through the materials that you need for your project. And if you're purchasing the kit, this is what you will get with the kit. You will get four black and white 5-petal beads that are larger and 2 that are smaller. You'll get your fire line. You get your wonderful little brass components that are electroplated black and red, and this is what I think makes this so unique. I love these. And then you're going to be getting your electroplated steel ear wires and various components to make different selections. I'm going to be showcasing how I've chosen to use these components, but you have extras in case you want to make different choices. So that's what's in your kit. Now what you need to supply. If you don't buy the kit, you need to supply that. And I show you how to punch these guys out and the punches I used in the first step. So you're going to need pliers to open the links on the ear wires. You're going to need a fire line cutter and possibly a bead zapper. You're going to need a heat gun, a craft heat gun for your shrink plastic. I'm going to open this up a little bit. And then the molds I used are the Shrinkets cone mold and the Shrinkets bezel mold. And that will be it. So let's get started. This is a pretty easy class, and as I said, the fun of it is components. So we're not going to be coloring our shrink plastic. We're just going to be utilizing the decorative nature of these shapes and the yin and the yang, so black and white, black and white. And you should have 4 of these and 2 of these, and I'm going to show you how I cut these. First of all, I used this thin die cut. I have a few of these on my website as of the shooting of this video, and I'm trying to get more of them. They're a really nice little die. And then I used this, this is a Stampin' Up punch, and I used this shape here. And these work really well in the shrink plastic. It's this slim line. Stampin' Up makes them. EK Success makes them. This style of punch. And then there's another company, and it's called Punch Bunch. And it's these really strong double, they've got double springs in them, so they go through the thick shrink plastic. The whale tails, if you're familiar with punches, the whale tail doesn't work that well on shrink plastic. Well, in my experience, not at all. So I also used hand punches. As always, I use a 1/8" hand punch that shrinks down to 16" to cut my center holes. And to mark the center decorative holes, I used a 14" hole punch, and I lined it up. You can kind of see how you can use this element on the punch to line it up. Kind of was a bit off on that one. And I'm using a Stabilo pencil, Stabilo all marker pencil on the shrink plastic, the dark shrink plastic, because it marks on everything and it can wash off. So once again, lining up, doing a better job this time. I was talking and pointing and not looking. So there we go. And on the little one, I marked holes, and I went and I used the 1/8" for this. Finding my hole in there. Turning it sideways so you can hopefully see. And that's one fun way you can have decorative lines, marks to your pieces. But in your kit, you're going to have 2 black. You're going to have 4, 2 black, 2 white, and a black and a white here. So all we're going to do is shrink these down using 2 molds. We're going to shrink these guys using the pink bezel mold. And you have to decide what you want to see inside the cup in this of your design. I'm going to choose to see matte in there, but if I wanted to see shiny, I would place it down that way. If I want to see matte, I place it this way, meaning the matte's up or the shiny's up. Whatever's up and you're looking at is what you'll see in the bowl of it. So I'm going to use matte for all of them, and I'm just going to show you shrinking one, and then you will shrink your other pieces. So here we go. We go out to the perimeter. If you're new to this, we go out at the perimeter of our bead, and our mold is our heat gun is about this close to the shrink plastic. So I like you to go straight down like so, but I go at an angle in order for you to be able to see on the camera how I'm shrinking. If you go straight down, you heat more evenly. And the best way to be successful with shrinking shrink plastic is to heat it evenly. Have an even hand and get the heat on there evenly. So 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005. And there we have it. And you're gonna shrink your 2 white ones, and your 2 black ones. Now for the yin and the yang little ones here, we're gonna use the cone mold. And I'm going to have matte on the outside of that, right there. And so I'm going to place matte down in the bowl. If I wanted shiny to be on the outside, I'd place shiny down. So this shrinks fast. Same technique, out to the perimeter and evenly around. And you hit these areas. There, keep your heat out. Okay, there, 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005. So do your little white one, and you will have these all shrunk. We're ready to start assembling. And I've cut my fire line in half with fire line cutters. I also have a bead zapper, and I have a needle. I'm going to be using a big eye needle. And I've done my layout here for my yin and yang, and I've given you a nice selection so you can choose the different options that you want. And you can make these all different, or you can make each one match but using the red components and the black components, because you're going to have a red and a black. So just have fun, but I'm going to show you how I did it. This is the first one I did, so you can see what was coming up. I did with the black filigree, I did the white with the red, white, black, and red, and on this side I did black, white, black, and red. Okay, so I'm going to be repeating the same thing for this with the red component. And that's what I meant by doing each component alike. You can make these 2 exactly as these 2 on the other earring. Or you could make them all different using this color scheme, because the color scheme is what makes it the yin and the yang. And the fact that these metal parts, brass filigrees, are the 2 different colors. So I'm putting my big eye needle on my line. Well, wait, I'm going to do it this way. This is easier for starters. I don't need to thread for this. I'm going to put this little red bead on, this tiny red bead. And I'm putting this in the saddle. And I like using the big eye because, see, I can double this up. And then I'm going to pick up the black bead and I'm putting that on. Okay, so I've got that double through, and I bypass, because this was in the saddle, it creates a stopper. I'm going to cinch this up a bit so I don't have a whole lot of tail. And then I'm putting the red one on, the white one on, and then the red, and the white. There, I've got this sequence. Now I'm coming through this hole right here, and I'm doing the reverse. Cinch this up again. See, hey sheet, then this red bead, you've got choices here, several different red styles. A shiny lined one. And that's what I said, the textures. There, you can play with your textures on this. So what I'm doing is I'm bypassing that black bead, see, and I'm coming down through my whole sequence, through the hole, over to the other side, and I'm coming through my whole sequence again, and up through my little seed bead, okay? Just following my bead path. Bypassing that red tiny seed bead, back down through this whole configuration. Through the red, I'm just making sure there's a little gap there with my string, so I'm just cinching. Then I'm coming up through the red bead, because I'm right here under the red bead. That's nice and tight. There. Did I get through that? And then pulling, making sure everything's nice and tight. And then going through the little black bead and bypassing that. Whoa, I almost came out here, but that's okay because it's the big eye. It's very easy for me to thread it. Bypass the little black bead. Come down. And get this bead, get my, loosen things up a bit. There. You can loosen up so you can get through and then re-cinch. Grab my needle in here. It's bendable. There. My tail came undone, but this is where I'm going to tie my knot. So I'm pulling my whole configuration really tight, and it is coming. I'm just checking to make sure there aren't any loose knots. loose lines or the line caught, the fire line caught on any petal. I'm going to tie a knot on that, and then I'm going to tie a surgeon's knot on it, around and around, and another surgeon's knot around and around under that. It will slide a little this way because the hole that we threaded it through is bigger, and that's okay, but you want it sandwiched tight that way. Okay, I'm just going to finish off with a regular knot, and then I'm taking my bead zapper and I'm getting in there and cutting my lines. Come on, Mr. Bead Zapper. Sometimes get frustrated with these because they don't always want to work for me. So I'm cutting this way. Or you can cut with an X-Acto knife. There. So I have that done, and now we're going to put it on. I think my little guys are bent. Anyhow, we're going to put it on this little steel electroplated black ear hook, and I'm opening that up. These are really stiff. They're not brass, they're steel. And so I'm slipping this little guy on there, and I'm closing this back up, and I'm going to squeeze it this way so this won't fall off. And if this area right here is in your way, just, you can snip some off. There. Now this was the choice. I've put options of how you can use this. You've got a little O-ring in here that looks good with the black, but I didn't like it with the white. But if you like it with the white, you can use it. I put those in there. They've got tinier holes, and that's what I liked about them, where if you use the Heishi bead, it's got a bigger hole, and that means it'll slide easier on this. So we're going to put this on first, and then I'll show you what I mean. This is a little snugger fit, and it looks great, but it didn't look that good for me on the white. So I wanted to continue my yin and yang, but I wanted to give you options. Now you can do a little white one, and then I put these cute little fuzzy beads on here, and you can end it that way, or you could put a seed bead on it, or do what you want, but I'm gonna go for the little tiny red O-ring on this. And then the ear rubber silicone ear stopper, so that when I'm storing these little guys, they stay on and gravity will keep this all in place. So there's our little yin and yang. It was very easy, but it's very fun looking. So here we are finished, and I just want to thank you for joining me. The kit is in the link in the description.